Psalm 29 from the King James Version. Psalm 29. Give unto the Lord, O the mighty. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The God of glory thundereth. The Lord is upon many waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars. Yea, the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon. He maketh them also to skip like a calf. Lebanon and Syrian like a young unicorn. The voice of the Lord divideth the flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord maketh the hinds to calve, discovereth the forests. And in his temple doth every one speak of his glory. The Lord sitteth upon the flood. Yea, the Lord sitteth king forever. The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. Meaning and significance. Psalm 29 is a psalm of praise that celebrates the power and majesty of God's voice. It describes how God's voice is mighty and sovereign, bringing forth creation, judgment, and blessings. Verses 1-2. The psalmist calls on the mighty ones to give God the glory and strength he deserves, worshiping him in the beauty of holiness. This invites all creation to acknowledge God's supremacy. Verses 3-9. The voice of the Lord is described in these verses as powerful, majestic, and overwhelming. It has the power to command the waters, break mighty cedars, make the mountains skip, dividing flames of fire, shake the wilderness, cause animals to give birth. All of these descriptions showcase the immense power of God's voice. Verse 10. This verse speaks of God's eternal reign. God sits as king forever, ruling over all creation, including the great flood. Verse 11. The psalm concludes with a declaration of God's strength and peace. God will provide strength for his people and bless them with peace, underscoring his care and protection for those who follow him. Themes and insights. God's sovereignty. Psalm 29 emphasizes God's supreme power and authority over the universe. His voice is a metaphor for his divine command and presence. Majesty of God's creation. The psalmist uses the imagery of nature such as the mighty waters, cedars, and fire to depict the awe-inspiring nature of God's power. Worship. The psalm calls for worship in recognition of God's glory and holiness. The proper response to God's overwhelming power is humble worship and praise. Peace for God's people. Despite God's power and might, he also brings strength and peace to those who belong to him, showing the balance between divine awe and personal care. This psalm is a celebration of God's supreme rule and majesty, inviting believers to acknowledge his power and to respond in worship.